What's up, everybody? Free one up here. Just came off from seeing the amazing Spider-Man movie, and this is kind of a review. I don't know, whatever you want to call that junk. I don't know, but I'm not gonna spoil that much for you. I don't think I'll spoil anything. Just the stuff you already know about Spider-Man. Before I went in, there was a lot of mixed feelings and opinions about the movie. A lot of people say they didn't like it. A lot of people say they did like it. They said it was amazing. Some people said they didn't. It sucked. Me personally, I liked it. I liked it a lot. Uh, it was very modern. Like, it's not. And it's hard for me to explain that. But the police had a big part in the movie too. A lot of shooting going on. But that's one of the parts that I liked. There's a couple parts that I think people didn't like specifically, and but one of the parts that kind of made it stand out is the guy Andrew Garfield played a really good Peter Parker, and he kind of before he became Spider-Man, he almost made me forget that he was Spider-Man. He was just Peter Parker. After a while, I'm like, hey, I had to catch myself. I'm like, oh yeah, he's supposed to turn into Spider-Man sometime in this movie. It's like, I think it's good when you can an actor can, transform into another role so quick. And make it believable. Like, all right, he is Peter Parker. And like Spider-Man had nothing to do with him before he became Spider-Man. So he made you believe he was a normal guy. A genius. Still, I like how they did that. When it came to there's a couple things that I think people didn't like, though. I didn't dislike it, but it's just, I can see why people say they didn't like it, or I can see why people would just dismiss the entire movie because of these little parts. The first one is how he became Spider-Man. It was sort of a quick transition. It was well explained and well, I don't know, portrayed, but it was sort of quick. Something. It's almost like it wasn't a big deal. It was like, boom, he's Peter Parker, then boom, he got bit by the spider, and then he's Spider-Man. And he was discovering his powers and everything. It seemed like that they kind of shot through it a little quick, and the rest of the movie was just bam, Spider-Man is in action. He's doing his thing as Spider-Man. They didn't really give you much. He had character development. It's hard to explain. I can see why a real comic book diehard fan would dismiss the movie because of that. He's like, oh, he didn't even show much about his origins. And that was just one part. I didn't really care. But another part is when his Uncle Ben died. It's almost like they didn't put any emphasis on that at all. It was just that, and then it was almost like it went straight to Spider-Man. He was Spider-Man. He cried for a minute when his Uncle Ben died, and after that it was just, he was Spider-Man. He's laughing and woo, like. And his uncle just died not too long ago, right? And it's like even his Aunt May didn't really show that much emotion about the Uncle Ben dying. I don't even think they showed her at all mourning for her. They didn't show much mourning for him. But that's one of them. Another thing is the suit. The suit kind of it didn't get much development of why he wanted to use the suit or why. It just showed him designing the suit. Or it didn't even hardly show that. It was just, he had a mask one day, and then he made a mask. It was blue and red, but, he was fighting crime a little bit. And then next thing you know, it was a scene where he had a Spider-Man suit. The whole suit. They didn't show how he made it. They didn't show pretty much anything about it. But they did show him making the webbing and everything. I'm like, all right, that's cool. I like that part. But a lot of people probably didn't like how the suit was introduced. It was so fast. Some of the most important parts of the movie, or of Spider-Man, were introduced so quick, and they moved on to the next part so quick that you almost forget that stuff happened. Like, to me, I almost forgot that Uncle Ben died. You know, but that's not the... That actually is a big part of Spider-Man, you know, his Uncle Ben dying, you know. But as far as the rest of the movie, and those were just minor things. They just minor. To me, they're minor. I can see how they'd be major to other people, though, because that stuff was a big part of Spider-Man's character. What else? The rest of the movie was pretty much hype. I like how his fighting scenes were really good. It was like, it made you think like, this is the amazing Spider-Man. You know, he was doing amazing stuff, like all his moves. It's like, as soon as when he figured out he was Spider-Man, he just boom, jumped into flipping and stuff, like he knew martial arts or something like that. Like, he didn't know that before, you know. But it was sweet, so I didn't really care at all. But he was doing some real sweet moves, you know. It was more about his dad than anything else, you know. Him finding out the origins of, you know, what his dad was about. But I highly recommend the movie. It's a good movie. It's a really good movie. It makes me want to see him in the Avengers 2 now, part 2. Give him a little, make him a part of the team. Put him on there. Now I want to see him in part 2. After the credits were over, after the entire credits were over, there's nothing at the end of the credits. When the credits going up like that, there's nothing after that. It's nothing after that. But there is a little something, you know, once the movie ends, you know, a little, like a minute afterwards, they're showing a little bit of the cast names and all that, then they show something else. You know, so you might want to stick around for a couple minutes after it ends. When he's fighting the lizard, man, the lizard is tight. He's looking real sweet. It's like he got a lot of character development, the lizard, Dr. Connors, you know. But even when he's fighting the police, you know, it was tight, man, all of it. But I highly recommend the movie. I ain't gonna spoil too much for you. I hope I didn't spoil anything, but go ahead and check it out, man. $5. I went to see it for $5, you know, because I went early. That's how I do. I went early. But anyway, that's it for the end of this movie review. Peace out, everybody. Energize.